I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing things in the past. Move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah.
Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim.
I was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at StocktonCon.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of StocktonCon. The value of wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, man, shout out the Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big Oos, San Jose. We gonna shut the shit down. Love and respect, though, right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank
Oh, I eat, sleep, bleed, the demons in your dreams. I eat, sleep, bleed. Oh, you ready? Welcome to the Value Wrestling. Welcome to the Monday Night Raw post show for July 8th, 2024. Welcome to your review show. And what a Monday Night Raw we had. What a solid show we had. And my mind just went blank. I had something to go with, and it all just went out the window, went bye-bye. Anyways, on the big side, along with Mr. Paulus, Clarke, Mr. Z is somewhere out in the universe doing something. Maybe when he gets his stuff together, he might show up live on the show about tonight's Monday Night Raw. But what a show. What a way to open the show, though. I mean, that's probably one of the most fantastic things we got, because we got Cult of Personality to open the show, and CM Punk is here, and he has a lot to go over. But first, he wants to address someone who has spent numerous hours in the ring with. He congratulates and thanks John Cena. He doesn't know what the future holds, but he liked one more round before he goes. But Cena ain't here tonight. Another guy not here tonight is Drew McIntyre, and he went and got himself suspended, and we got the reason why here. There is a simple lesson here. There are consequences for your actions. Drew should not be surprised that he only held that title for 5 minutes and 46 seconds, because there are consequences for your action. The following night, he blew it again due to consequences, and you're looking at them. CM Punk is the consequences of all of his stupid actions. He flew all the way to Scotland to prove it, and he did it one more time. Saturday night. He promised he'd cash in and take the title, but Punk made a promise too, and that was that Drew would never be champ as long as there was air in his lungs. This is just the tip of the iceberg. He wants hands on Drew, but he can't due to the fact of Drew being suspended. He also was fined $25,000, but money well spent. He'd do it again. Drew was fined double that because he can't stop tweeting, and he's here to ask Jack Tunney, as a throwback, or Adam Pearce to please lift the suspension. Instead, we get Seth freaking Rollins, who's out with his own intentions. Punk grabs a headset and talks to Michael Cole and Pat and sits on the announce table. He brings up Cole bringing up his government, and Cole tries to explain why Seth could possibly be upset. Punk says this insurance takes too long. Pat gets his headset back, and Seth looks over at Punk, who is seated on the announce table. Seth, while the crowd sings, stares a hole through Punk. He wonders why it is now that Punk wants to sit on the sidelines, and told Punk to come into the ring. Doesn't he love the spotlight, or is Punk afraid of getting his butt kicked? Punk laughs at this and then grabs the mic. He reminds us that last time they were in the middle of the ring, Punk warned him that he let Seth speak disrespectfully to him once. So he says, please watch what he says. Seth was flabbergasted at him, disrespecting the best in the world. He wouldn't dare. He just needs help understanding consequences and why that applies to everyone except Punk. He understands a lot of what happened Saturday. The ref made a mistake. Drew cashed in. He gets all that, but what he can't wrap his head around is why Punk decided to do the one thing Seth asked him not to do when he showed back up. Why did he stick his nose in Seth's business? Punk would like to explain he didn't stick his nose in his business. He was handling Punk's business. This is personal. He'd think with Seth being as a husband and a father, he'd understand. Doesn't feel good bringing him up, does it? There's a man running around with a bracelet with his wife and dog's name on it. May not mean much to Seth, but it's the intent. He will get his pound of flesh. He has no quarrels with Seth. He's coming out with personal, and if he somehow screwed things up for Seth, if whatever his little pipe dream is, he's trying to apologize here. Pay attention in a great moment here. Legit. Punk can't quite muster up the words to say it. Seth tells him to spit it out. Punk does say he's sorry. He apologized. He didn't mean to screw anything up for him. He's a bit snowblind with rage. He's got a singular focus, and he understands Seth does too, and he screwed it up, and he's sorry. But because it's Seth, can he really be that sorry? Can he? Seth says Punk only has something. It's called gaslighting. Punk has probably never sincerely apologized for anything. Punk has it all figured out. He's sly, crafty, and king of propaganda, but he's got to be the dumbest smart dude he's ever met. He's got most of it figured out except for the one thing to make him the hero that he thinks he is, and that is the world does not revolve around CM Punk. He can be a selfish bastard to anyone else, burn bridges anywhere else. He'll let it slide because he's above him. Seth is above Punk. He was willing to let it slide until Saturday. If it wasn't for Punk, he'd be standing here champ. Punk kind of shrugs like, nah. Seth is out of cracks at the title. It's not just a pipe dream. Maybe for Punk, but not for him. For him, being champion is the most important thing in the business. He took that from Seth, so it is his turn to take that from Punk. He could take a cheap shot here and now, but he knows Punk isn't 100%, but he promises when Punk is cleared, he won't even be able to say the name Drew McIntyre before Seth snaps his arms and puts him back on the shelf. Actions have consequences. Seth eventually leaves, followed by CM Punk. A great way to open the show. Lots of fun. Really enjoyed the opening to the show and enjoyed it. Your thoughts, sir?
The first thing I loved was the fact that CM Punk went old school and talked about Jack Tunney or Adam Pearce.
Yes.
I thought that was just a hilarious throwaway line. And just the general back and forth between Seth and Punk was great. I mean, it's very self-explanatory. But more, please.
Yes. No, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. From all of that. Anyways, from there, we were backstage. Pearce tries to explain to Dominic Mysterio that he was busy dealing with Drew, so he couldn't reply. Dom says he doesn't want to tag with Liv, but Pearce says Liv requested to make up for last week. Dom doesn't want the match. Pearce says he doesn't give a damn. The match is official and signed. Happy Monday. Here comes Liv Morgan to tell Dom that she is doing this for him and help show Ray who the real daddy of the family is. And Happy, the match is official and signed, and Happy, here comes Liv Morgan to tell Dom that he is doing this for him to help him show Ray who the real daddy of the family is. Dom says, fine, just make sure they win. Liv wants to talk about strategy. Dom says there better be some
Tendies or
and
nuggies?
Yes,
Tenders and
tenders and
nuggets.
tendies and nuggies.
All right. Well, if you've heard the voice, because he's not on screen, Mr. Z has finally joined us. So give us 1 second. We are going to give you a brief break here while we get things adjusted for him to show up on screen. So stand by with us. Check out the advertisement for the Goldmine while we get this all straightened out. This is the Value of Wrestling on the big time, and I'm here with some great news. Are you a Funko Pop collector? Are you searching for some hard-to-find Funko Pops? Are you just looking to complete a collection? Well, the Value of Wrestling is teamed up with the Goldmine. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Goldmine, which can be found on Facebook, or by going to the description below and clicking the link, you can sign up to join the Goldmine, who will help you find those hard-to-find, rare pops. They'll help you complete your collection. Just let them know when you're signing up what Funko Pops you're looking for, and that the Value of Wrestling sent you. The Goldmine, the ones that are going to help you to find those rare-to-find pops and help you finish your collection. All can be done at the Goldmine. Sign up today and make sure you tell them the Value of Wrestling sent you. Okay, and we are back, and if you see now, Mr. Z, you're live on the screen. You can be seen. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. Glad you could finally show up.
Hey, when the money was good, I couldn't help but partake in it.
Yes. Anyways.
So if the money's good enough, things happen, huh?
Choppy.
Yeah.
Lots of money.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Just so y'all know, I was speeding just a little too much. I won't say how fast I was going, but I was flying to get.
Why would you put that information out on air?
Who's listening? We got our handful. They like us. They ain't gonna say nothing. Unless Mr. Khan's
on the
call.
internet, which lasts forever, practically.
Yes.
Good.
It ain't necessarily the now; it's the later, also.
Good.
You not see these other idiots that got themselves arrested for being stupid online, confessing to the crimes they committed, and then wondering why they got arrested later? Anywho, it's Monday Night Raw. We're going to get into a lot of conversation. We're going to get through this, and then we're going to talk about some other things and what's going on for this week. And so right now we're back from a commercial break, and we're back from our commercial break. It's Chad Gable and Jey Uso going one-on-one. The kid with no teeth from Stranger Things grew up to become Chad Gable.
Oh my goodness.
All right, people's notes.
Bats have found needs for less.
Who wrote the notes tonight? It's Sarah's. Okay.
Who booked this?
Anyways, we got Jey Uso versus Chad Gable in a pretty good solid match here. They went back and forth. We got frog splash for a cover right from Jay with the yeet for fun. Kick caught insecurity from Jay. Jay in the corner rushes with a hip attack to Chad's head. Jay on the top rope. Gable up, climbs with the legs. Jay falls to the ring. Gable with an ankle lock. When the lights go down, Gable releases immediately, looks around. The lights go darker. Jay hits his spear. This match went This match went 7 minutes, 15 seconds. A decent little match between these two. Jay does one yeet and then takes off out of the ring. Fog starts to fill the ring. Gable is struggling to get up. Holy shit chants are being there. If you're watching on the USA Network, all you heard was holy, holy, holy. Anywho, muffling out the ominous music due to censorship. Yes, we see Nikki. We see a mysterious figure. We can't label her as Nikki or Sister Abigail. Nobody's been named, and she hasn't been unmasked. It should be Nikki, but I mean, it could still wind up being Alexa Bliss in the end. We don't know.
Look at the height. Come on.
Well, I know it's Nikki playing the role right now, but technically they haven't named the creature or said it's this or that. They've started showing us the other
It's supposed to be Abby the Witch.
By whose words?
Other online sources.
I mean, they haven't defined these characters as Rambling Rabbit, Huskus the Pig Boy, Mercy the Buzzard, and Abigail.
Rambling Rabbit.
Sister Abigail. I said Rambling Rabbit.
Yeah.
Sister Abigail. They haven't officially
you did.
named
Okay.
these, and they haven't officially told us everything yet. So it's like, we don't know what they're exactly going to do. We assume, but we know what assumptions do. Okay, nobody wants to finish that line. Anywho, Nikki pops, the mysterious female character pops up, causing Gable to crawl out of the ring. He leaves, and then they turn around and deliver the box, this time to the returning Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee back on the show. So Pat McAfee finally got his special delivery tonight. We had backstage where Jackie Redmond and Sheamus are watching the show, and Sheamus kind of stops and goes, "That's weird." He's owning congratulations for hitting 15 years officially with the WWE. Sheamus says he's not done it all, almost. It takes years before you can go out there and put on a banger after banger after banger. He's cut up by Bronson Reed, who says his anniversary ended up with Sheamus losing. They should be talking about Reed. He has the match tonight. He is the future. Sheamus is stuck in the past. Sheamus calls him a crybaby, says he's been watching Sheamus, so you know what comes next. Reed and Sheamus settle it like proper fellas. Reed will fight him anytime, just not tonight, but he can sit down and watch that Reed does to Sheamus' mate tonight. Pete Dunne. So, little confrontation there, and of course now we know next week Sheamus is going to take on the big Bronson Reed. Lots of fun there. Anyways, after that, we got Bronson Reed versus Pete Dunne. A decent little match here. Pete Dunne looking like he almost was going to get the upset. Pete pulls apart the fingers of Reed, drops him onto the top rope summit first. Pete crashes down, and we see the big tsunami. Bronson Reed hits the big tsunami from the top rope at 7 minutes, 17 seconds. A decent little match here, but Bronson Reed getting the big win. Reed looks to do more damage, but Sheamus comes out to meet him in the middle of the ring. They go at it. Reed with the headbutt. Sheamus comes back with a running knee. Dunne with a drop kick and then a bro kick for Reed. Sheamus is all hype, gives Dunne a playful headlock, but Dunne is not okay with that. He whips away from Sheamus and looks at him with a scowl. Dunne leaves the ring as Sheamus stands a bit confused. So we all know that Sheamus used to team up with Pete Dunne when he was named as Butch, and he was kind of the playful fella, but now that Pete Dunne is back to his name and more of a serious competitor, there might be some friction there from that history. But this was overall a good match. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
I mean, even the commentators were saying that a part of the reason why Pete Dunne's acting the way he is because Sheamus left the group. A part of that was due to injury, but he allegedly walked out on them.
Yes.
And so it's like, well, yeah, if you got a homie that walks out on you, you might be a little pissy. You may not necessarily be a direct enemy anymore, but you might be a little pissy still. Yeah. And pertaining to the match, I mean, the right person went over just because we need to do something with Bronson Reed, give him some focus.
Yeah.
And he's a perfect opponent for Sheamus.
Well, and they didn't make Pete Dunne look terrible in this match. He was pretty much dominating most
that
of this
too.
match. So, I mean, they weren't making him just get squashed. He was really giving it to Reed. He gave Reed a challenge in this match. So, I don't think we can complain there. We were backstage, and Seth Rollins walks up to the Judgment Day. He wants to speak to Priest. Priest tells everyone to go. Seth says it's better to be a lucky than good. Saturday, he was very lucky, but he was also very good. Most importantly, he kept his word, and since he did that, Seth will keep his word. He won't come for that title as long as Priest has it. But as good as he was on Saturday, if he wants to keep it, he's got to be better at SummerSlam. Seth is about to leave, but Priest stops him, and he says he has a lot to prove still, so that whole agreement, he can toss it out the window. When he's done with Gunther, if Seth wants a shot, just name the place. They shake hands, and Priest gets a phone call, answers with a smile, and asks, "Where are you at?" So, they have backtracked and left us all in an interesting perspective, saying now Priest is not going to hold the agreement they had accountable, so Seth Rollins can get an title shot while Priest holds the title. But we know going into SummerSlam, he's going to face Gunther. Is Gunther really going to run this title at this point? This is going to be interesting. There's so much, and especially with the Bash in Berlin coming up. I don't know how this is all going to play out, but they definitely made this a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Sammy is here, and he has gone... I don't know. Anyway, Sammy is here. He holds his title in the air, and he says it's an honor to hold the title in the nation's capital representing Canada. He brings up Braun, saying he brought it up all He brought up all his power, strength, and speed, but made the mistake thinking Sammy was the underdog. He has said this before. He's not an underdog anymore. He is a champion. He has been putting in top-level performances for years. He's earned some respect in this ring, and Braun didn't bring that, which is why he found out the hard way that this is hard to keep, that it is hard to keep Sammy down. Breaker comes out. He walks into the ring, stares Sammy down. Sammy wonders what he wants, a fight, a rematch. Is he just going to keep staring at Sammy? Sammy slaps the mic into his chest, goading him to speak. He says he came out here to look the man, the only man who can say they beat him from the back in the eye. He didn't think it was going to be Sammy, but he's a smart guy. There's no reason for him to get a rematch. So look, he's been thinking, and he turns and spears Sammy. The refs and the agents come down and gets Breaker off of him. Braun sees they're walking Braun out when he sees Sammy on the other side. He ditches Pierce and runs around the ring at full speed and spears Sammy again. Out comes Ilya Dragunov to try and fight off Braun, but Braun mocks him, saying, ooh, and he's so scared. Ilya runs over to check on Sammy. After this, we get backstage. Ilya and Pierce are talking. The doctor checking on Sammy. Ilya wants Braun, and Pierce grants him that. We're going to get Ilya Dragunov versus Braun the Breaker tonight. Your thoughts on this segment? Sammy feels great. Braun, I'm not going to say they buried Braun, but I don't know what you do with Braun. My only thing is, why is the wrestling world so mad at Sammy? Like, they're mad that Sammy won this match. They're saying he buried Braun Breaker. He's beating all these big guys. Why are they building Sammy this way? I'm like, he's the Intercontinental Champion, and it's a good story for him that he's coming up kind of the underdog and winning all these things. They're building him as a solid Intercontinental Champion. They're making the Intercontinental Champion look good. I don't know why everybody's mad that Sammy beat Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker he wasn't title worthy yet. You would have put the Intercontinental title on Braun Breaker. It would have been the title trying to make the man instead of Braun Breaker making the man. What you do with Braun Breaker, they gave a little bit here where he attacked Sammy with his fierceness, but then later in the match, I feel like they dropped the ball again. I don't know what they're doing with Braun Breaker, but in this segment, it was decent, but I'm like, I don't get the hate for Sammy. Like, the pouring out hate that, oh, they're using Sammy to bury Gunther and Bronson Reed. I'm like, he's not burying people. They're just showing that he's a veteran that's, outclassing these guys. He's the underdog. He's the guy that's their champion. They're trying to build him as a solid threat. And by beating these guys, it gives Sammy, credibility. Your guys' thoughts.
I was gonna say, Sammy is the little engine that could. Is what they're bringing him off as, you said, the ultimate underdog, the guy that comes up from all adversity that's thrown his way, and that's all well and good. I don't understand why, like you said, the fans are unhappy about it. I thought the fans would be excited that he's still champ. But obviously they were maybe hoping Braun would pick up the big win, but I don't think he's quite ready yet. I still feel like there's something that they need to fine tune him just a little bit more before they put the belt on him. But that's my opinion.
Again, I will stand by the fact if you would have put the title on him, it would have been the title making the man instead of the man making the title. And I feel it may have worked, but I still feel it would have been out of place. And then you really have to tell a story with Braun Breaker. And of course, we just saw Gunther go 666 days or whatever it was undefeated and with the Intercontinental title run. I don't know if we need another long Intercontinental title run. Now, Sammy's is probably going to end at SummerSlam in some fluky thing. I hope we're not going back to Braun Breaker. But if they are, they really need to build Braun Breaker to be much more of a serious threat than they have. Mr.
Yeah.
So I'm going to back up a little bit, because I was saying before WrestleMania that the Intercontinental title was beneath Sami Zayn for the popularity and the work he was putting in. I feel like he should be in the main event scene. At least, upper main, lower mid card, lower main event at least.
I think he should be in the talks for the world title. I definitely agree with you. I think he should be in the works for the world title, but I think they're doing here is they're building him to be even a bigger threat into the world title picture. They're making him even look more of a main eventer where, now you want to see the world title on him. I think the Intercontinental title is just kind of a place for him to be. And with these wins, it's making the title look good. It's making him even look like a bigger threat to the world champion. Especially if Gunther wins the world title. Gunther only, Sami Zayn's only one of a few men that have beaten Gunther in the company outside of Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov. But right now, Sami could be that guy that we may see Sami and Gunther if Gunther wins that world title. So, yes, I think Sami's time with the Intercontinental title is coming up at SummerSlam. I just don't know who it's going to.
Now, well, on the idea of creative for a Braun Breaker, and had he won the title at Money in the Bank, to me, it would have been a case of growing into the role. And yes, you could say it's the title making the man, but he still has to put the work in, obviously. What I don't understand from creative is why is the whole story about the spear? Why is he not just dominating in other ways? It's always about the spear. Like, he's got more than one move if they have him use it.
If they want to use him as...
Well, I was sitting and think... Oh, go ahead.
They want to use the spear and make him dominant, it's fine, but they've got to make it feel like when he runs around the ring and hits the spear, it's somewhat okay, but it's also you got Braun Strowman running around the ring as the choo-choo train. Some of that's like, okay, we got two guys doing the same thing, so it's not as impressive. But I mean,
and they're both named Braun.
I know, spelled differently. But if you're going to let Braun Breaker be the spear guy, then you need to build Braun Breaker like a Goldberg. Now, people may not like Goldberg, but my point is he needs to be built in that fashion. He needs to be coming in. They need to reset him and let him come in, be pissed off now, and just start feeding him jobbers and low-end guys and just have him running through people and building up on an undefeated streak. I mean, that's the only way I think it's going to work. Otherwise, he just kind of feels boring. That or they need to start letting him use the Steiner recliner. Something.
I'm all for the Steiner recliner idea.
This man needs to snap, and I'm not seeing the snap. It's like, why is he not snapping?
Either he needs to snap, or like as Cornette would say, he needs to go away, learn a new hold, take him off TV, do something with him, and then bring him back.
I just don't know what they're doing with on the main roster. Anyway, Judgment Day are here for trios action. Awesome Truth is out with Braun Strowman in the ring. Miz and Truth hit Finn and JD with some FUs. Miz flies over the top rope, and then Braun gets sending Carlito into the ring. Shoulder tackle from R-Truth. Protobomb, 5-knuckle shuffle to Carlito. FU, a cover for 2. I guess the match started, and so we get the match right away. Eventually, in the end, Truth is all smiles because he gets tagged in. He gets distracted. He gets some one-ups from the chant. Miz is trying to tell him to turn around. He gets hit with a drop kick into the corner. Why the Miz doesn't... The confusing thing here is the Miz is trying to tell him to turn around, but Miz is right there close enough to tag R-Truth. So why did the Miz just reach out and tag R-Truth? Or why wasn't he prepared? Now, the thing is, R-Truth got drop kicked into the corner by Finn Balor with the shotgun drop kick, which did knock Miz off the corner, but I'm like, why didn't Miz tag then? But anywho, Finn Balor up top. Coup de grace, 1, 2, 3. Another win for Judgment Day. The Miz seemed pissed, and Braun checks on Truth. Decent little match. But, I mean,
it was all right. But it makes you feel like Miz is going to turn on Truth eventually.
Yeah. Feels that way. I find it enjoyable just watching Braun throw JD McDonough around. It's just... It's very entertaining to me watching this little guy just getting chucked around.
Yeah. Some of it needs to get serious. I don't know if I want to see Miz. They're doing that new documentary on Miz. I think he's the next one up, and they're promoting that heavily. I don't think they're going to turn the Miz anytime soon. And I don't know if I want to see Miz turn. I think Miz as a heel has been great, but I would like to see Miz on a true, like, kind of a babyface run for a while. They gave it to him for a little bit there, and then I felt like they screwed it over by turning him back heel right now. I'm just like, I like where he is, but yes, he needs to kind of get away from Truth. But maybe they're a good tag team that can play spoil the other thing. I don't know. Right now, they don't know what to do with Miz, R-Truth, and Braun Strowman, so they're going to have them run around and play hanky-panky with whoever they can throw in the ring with them.
Well, it's filler, so it is what it is for the time being.
Yes.
It burns 15 minutes.
Well, it was 8 minutes and 13 seconds. So. But I guess maybe with entrances, you can get 15 minutes out of it. Okay, I don't like when you're standing on one leg, because then if you lose balance and your claw is digging into my leg, then it's going to be painful. I have a kitty on my lap.
Digging into white meat.
Yeah, all right. Anyways, backstage, CM Punk is talking to Pierce. Pierce says Punk isn't cleared, and he is half the problem. This has to stop. He's willing to call Drew, schedule a meeting, see if he's in a place to do business, but if that will happen, Punk can't be around. If he picks a fight again, the match with Drew is off. Punk just wants to finish it. Pierce tells him to go home and heal up and let Pierce deal with it. Punk says, okay, he'll work on getting cleared. So we're gone with Punk. Punk should not be on next week's TV. And if he's not allowed to do anything or to cancel the match, I don't know if we'll see Punk for at least next week. Maybe he'll be back. Punk's great stuff on TV. We got to be careful how much we don't have Punk on TV. He's a great additive to TV. Maybe he needs to show up on NXT.
There you
go
go.
Down there and play around just because. Anyways, backstage, Liv Morgan's showing Dom they need to work on some double team moves. She wants to help him relax. She pushes him down. And as she pushes him down, she starts stretching his leg. And Dom says, no. And then he says, actually, that feels kind of good. And then Priest and the Three Stooges and coming around the corner with Finn and JD poking their heads around the wall like it's a Bad Monkeys episode. And Carlito's standing there going, that's cool. Liv laughs and leaves. Priest says he doesn't even want to know. Priest says Dom should be done with this. It's not that hard. Carlito goes, it looks pretty hard to me. Dom says Priest is reminding him of his dad, and Priest understands why Ray was so frustrated with Dom. Dom says he thought he put it into this. He will put it into this now. He leaves. Finn wants to know what Priest has as a surprise. Priest says he wants to keep it to himself. Dom is about to find out on his own, though, and that's the big hint of the night. Your thoughts on this little segment?
I don't know. I'd say that's the second hint of the night.
Yes.
It was a nice little innuendo, just, comedy that they've been doing.
The Three Stooges line is always a good one. I like what you said there. That was funny. Because they really did. They poked their heads out like Huey, Dewey, and Louie around the corner. It's just...
hey, Huey, Dewey, and Louie are reserved for other people at another company. Don't downgrade Judgment Day by using Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Don't besmirch Judgment Day.
Yes. Don't be mean. They can be the Three Stooges. They can be,
okay.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They can be the Monkeys, whatever you want to call them.
Okay. But yeah, no, it was very entertaining. Carlito's funny. His just one-liner. I mean, it's almost like Ron Simmons. Almost. Ron Simmons is iconic.
But I understand.
Yeah.
Anyways, from there we get the newest tape, and we see Bo Dallas standing alone. His face flickers. And we see Howdy, him reflecting back and forth between Uncle Howdy and himself. And if you paid close attention, his face would even flicker between him and Bray Wyatt. A voice asked about his family. He says he took those that no one wanted, the discarded and the forgotten, and he gave them purpose. They're so happy that we remember them. Being a glutton for punishment doesn't make abandonment hurt any less. We get clips of each of the members of the family with mask and without mask, except who we believe is Nikki, playing Sister Abigail or whatever this doll-like Annabelle creature is. We did not get any of her video footage in this, but we did see Huskus the Pig Boy and Joe Gacy's face. We saw a very, very freaky Dexter Loomis. If you didn't know it was Dexter Loomis, it was definitely very interesting to see. I think he had face paint on. I don't know. He looked scarier than normal. I don't know what we're going to get from him. And, of course, we saw Eric Rowan's face. So this was great. We're getting this mixture of who they are and what they're wearing, and I don't know what we're getting. It's kind of like you're almost bored with it, and then they do something really cool, and you're like, okay, they saved it again. It's really like, okay, can we get to the next part? And then they give you something that's really like, okay, I'm even more twisted and everything. Too much, but grief is the price they pay for love. But now we must set the captives free so that they need no master. Bo rubs his face down and then asks if they think we are sick. Yes, says the invisible voice. We get quick edits of all the members again, finally landing on Uncle Howdy, and then back to Bo, who says, then sick is what will be. So a great segment here for everything. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm enjoying the build that they're giving this. They're giving it time. I'm not as excited as my kids are, but it's enjoyable.
I seem to be the one without patience. I want to get somewhere. Like, this is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's like I'm not as low on it as I was for a little while, but because they are giving us something. But I just got no patience. Like, apparently, I want more, and I want it now.
No, it was a great
You hear that,
segment.
folks? It's still real to him.
Yeah, so it was a great segment. And I can get, like I said, I can get that you're kind of like, okay, I'm ready for that next piece. Like, let's go on. But then they give you this, and you're kind of like, okay, I want to be mad because I want more, but I'm interested again. Like, it's like play with those parts. They got you all twisted up on this one because you're like, I'm ready for more, but I don't know what they're doing, and I don't know what to expect, and I can't figure it out. So, lots of fun here.
It's a beautiful disaster. You can't take your eyes off the screen.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
I didn't know we were talking about you. Is the Wyatt fam or is the Wyatt sick taking over devices now?
Well, they are listening.
Anywho, great segment. I think it worked out well. And then we go backstage where Gable's running past Pierce, and he's like, "They're talking about me." And Pierce stops and asks if he ever stopped to figure out why that might be. Gable says he will fix this, but he can't be responsible for how. While we're at it, how about a vacation? And then he walks away. We see Pierce open his door, and there is Bo Dallas doing Bo Dallas things, just sitting there rocking. I don't know if he was rocking in his seat. He was just kind of sitting there, and he just turned, looked at Pierce. I don't know if I noticed any rocking per se, but okay. A great another level.
Now he sat there, looked over, and that was it. It was good. It definitely. I popped for it. I was like, all right, now we're getting somewhere.
Anyways, up next is Damage Control. We get a beautiful promo about Damage Control, doing that they're going to be something important going into this. I like the promo, making it feel a little more serious, a little more important. Again, of course, by the end of the show, I think we're all twisted on like, okay, where are we going now? I mean, we kind of understand where it may be going, but now I'm confused on what direction everybody's going, because it was definitely something that we weren't expecting. You definitely have to say that. I don't think anybody would have guessed what happened there. Anyway, it's time for Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov. A decent match here, a mid-match. It went 10 minutes, 29 seconds before Braun tries to run at Ilya with a kick stop momentum. Ilya breaks the count, turns to run at Braun, but Braun throws not a steel chair, one of the, like a office chair like this.
Like when a commentator shares.
Yes. Yeah. At Ilya, just struck the chair for no reason. Braun afterwards grabs Ilya and rolls him into the ring, looking to make more punishment. Sami Zayn, injured, comes down to attack Braun, sends him outside. Sami checks on Ilya, who has a bad cut. Braun grabs Sami and sends Sami into the post, and then he tosses Sami over the announce table. Ilya runs out of the ring to attack Braun, but he sends him over the table too. Braun stands atop the table, drops his straps, and screams in victory. Inky big. I don't know what to say about this because it didn't do anything for anybody. And I'm like, this is not good when you have Ilya Dragunov, who needs to feel like a very badass character in his style, and Braun Breaker needs to be a very badass character. Granted, this ended in a no DQ, so nobody really took a clean loss. But again, I would have been happy if Braun Breaker would have followed up and felt like he came off like a complete monster. I don't feel like he came off like a complete monster. Like, he should have left them both bloody, painful, and broken in the ring. End of story. Ilya winning would have kept him a little better, but I mean, it was like the in-ring work was okay.
I don't disagree.
I agree with that. We need more violence out of this man.
The in-ring work was good between these two, but wasn't great. I know they've done it in NXT, but I think they did it better in NXT. I don't know. It's like, this just didn't feel right. It didn't seem to feel right. The chair toss just kind of felt like a really bad way to end this match. Just kind of like, they didn't have a finish, and it was just like he grabbed a chair to get disqualified. It was so weird. And then there was no, like, he threw the chair, but there wasn't any immediate destroy. I'm like, this man needs to seek and destroy. Yes, I know I'm quoting Metallica at this point, but that's what he needs to be. Braun Breaker needs to be Goldberg-esque. He needs to be the severe monster, tear apart, seek and destroy. And we're not getting that. He threw the chair, and you're kind of like, okay, maybe they'll do something with it, but nothing followed up. Sammy hobbled it. And him throwing these guys over the announce table, it's not that big of a deal because it happens too much, too. I think that's the other thing. Some of the stuff they're doing with him, it's like we see this on a normal occurrence, so this doesn't make Braun Breaker a bigger beast or bigger danger to everybody else. It's just, I don't know. It's missing.
What it looks like to me is Redacted's old problem, which was 50-50 booking. But instead of 50-50 booking, what we have is we're trying to protect everyone at the same time, which means no one is really rising.
No.
It's almost like Triple H kind of booked himself into a hole.
Yes.
And now he doesn't know how to dig his way out of it.
No, he's got some good talent.
I mean, it's like chess. You have to sacrifice your pawns sometimes for the bigger play.
But that's my thing. You can sacrifice an Ilya Dragunov if it had a bigger play.
Oh, for sure.
There wasn't a bigger play here. It didn't. Again, I think they need to get Braun Breaker away from Sammy. I think they need to get him away from Ilya Dragunov. He needs to start beating up jobbers and nobodies. He needs to beat two guys at one time. He needs to do a lot of the Goldberg stuff and then start facing some lower tier guys.
Just the complete reset?
Yes.
Yeah.
He just needs to come out in a storm and tear up everything. Right now, it's like, I feel like he's limping along. He's not buried. I won't say he's completely buried, but it's just kind of like...
I kind of felt like if he would have let's say, I know we nitpick at the spear, but it's like if he would have speared one of them through the timekeeper's area, put another one through the table, then maybe I would have thought, we got something cooking. He's been a little more destructive with these guys.
If he would have put Ilya Dragunov through the announce table or speared him, and then when Sammy came hollow down, with Sammy's injuries, if he would have locked in the Steiner recliner and just been crazy, he would have had something. I want him to be like to go berserk. He just needs to become unhinged. He needs this snap. Now, I don't know if you take him into SummerSlam for a rematch to Sammy and have him lose, and then after that, he goes, and just beats the crap out of him. There's this point where I'm like, I think I see what they want to do, but it's just like they're not pulling the trigger for some reason. But I mean, it's like, if Braun Breaker's supposed to be this badass, he needs to feel like the badass. He does not feel like he was in NXT.
And that's kind of my point, though, about that, what I'm saying about trying to protect everyone at the same time.
Yeah.
They're not pulling the trigger. They let him put Ricochet out and make him look like a badass.
Yes.
But they haven't let him do the extent that they need to since then.
No, they haven't done a follow-through. They did do it with Ricochet. They put him on a pedestal in that level, and then it's just we backtracked. And it's like, now it's like, no, he needs to go back to running through jobbers and give him a lot of jobbers, Goldberg him, and start building up a streak where he's just undefeated. Like, he needs to go the next year of just beating everybody and get away from every title. He doesn't need to be in any title picture right now. He just needs to be built as this unstoppable force. Because he should be in there with a guy. I mean, if you were going to bring back Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker should be built to be able to stand in a ring with Brock Lesnar and be a threat. Braun Breaker should be... I know Braun Strowman's not really... I mean, he's a big guy and he's a monster, but it's not really like this major threat. But Braun Breaker should be able to stand in a ring and look like a threat to Braun Strowman. I want to see Braun Breaker feeling like a threat.
Yeah, you should be able to look at Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, and think, you know what? I don't think Strowman's going to take this one.
I need Braun Breaker to be built up
That's how
until
it
the
should
next
feel.
WrestleMania. So Braun Breaker, and I know people are going to be pissed about this one, Braun Breaker needs to beat John Cena at WrestleMania. You put Braun Breaker on this long, undefeated where he's going to bash in, and he should be the guy going, oh, I'm going to make sure your last match is at WrestleMania. And then you have Braun Breaker dominate John Cena in a way that John Cena hasn't been dominated. That may make everybody question, and John Cena question if he's going to come back. And then you can have the hero's triumph a couple months later where he comes back for a couple more matches. But I mean, why not build him for this big opportunity? He needs to be built. He needs to be built and just beating everybody. He should be this unstoppable force where you're like, oh, who's going to beat him? You did it with Gunther. Why can't we do it with Braun Breaker? After learning that Kofi is injured, we head to a promo by Karrion Kross and his goon, Karrion Kross and the Final Testament. He tries. Okay, he made a joke, and this idiot's okay. He says the old guard will make way for new, even everybody's favorite John Cena. His time is up. He knows Woods was watching. He's a hell of a talent. He can beat Kross where Kofi could not. Woods can become a man, or he can go with Kofi. The New Day is dead. Woods is just the last to realize it. So saith the Final Testament. A good promo package here. I don't get why people tear this shit apart. I can't wait till we can actually buy a writer who can write this stuff so we can actually read it on air without all their personal garbage input. I just want somebody to write the show where I can read.
Y'all say I put my foot in my mouth. Jeez.
Well, you do, notoriously. So yeah, don't start acting like you don't.
I'm just saying, if that comes to a table, this guy will be the first man we send a box of Tasty Toast to.
Anyways, we have Damage Control versus Caden Carter, Katana Chance, and Lyra Valkyria. Shane and Caden in the ring. Caden gets sent to the ropes, but Io is there to hold them. Carter flies outside. Io in. She launches Shane over the top rope to the outside. Tag to Io. Io over the moonsault to Carter. Cover 1, 2, 3. A good solid match for Damage Control. They went 8 minutes, 38 seconds. This match didn't mean anything for anybody here because out of nowhere, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks, and the returning Sonya Deville finally come down to attack Damage Control and just beat the holy snot out of them. They triple team Io. Zoe with a huge kick to Io's face. Zoe launches Io into a knee. Sonya catches her and hits her with her move, the Deville's Advocate, and leaves them laying. And we have a new group here of Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Sonya Deville, where Shayna Baszler was kind of against Sonya Deville. Looks like Shayna Baszler's come around. And now I don't know where we stand because the way Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Sonya Deville came out and attacked Damage Control, I would say the group of Shayna and Zoe and Sonya are probably the heels. And now we may be seeing Damage Control become baby faces, which is really going to be a weird thing because now we're going to have to forget all the stuff they did as heels. This is going to be an interesting dynamic because you're like, okay, well, I want to feel sorry for Damage Control, but should I really? Isn't it just kind of do justice? And the only bad part about this, is even the crowd was a little mixed in the reaction. Like they kind of cheered Shane and Zoe and Sonya Deville, but they also wanted to boo some of it.
Oh, so yay!
It was very confusing in the crowd. I don't know if they got the reaction in the directions they were trying to get because it was a massive beatdown. It was a heelish beatdown, but it was kind of like, well, Damage Control kind of we feel bad, but they kind of deserve it, and we kind of there's a love-hate relationship with Shayna and Zoe Starks, but I think everybody in the WWE universe either hasn't remembered who Sonya Deville is, or if you remember who Sonya Deville is, you really don't like her at all. Unless you're Mr. Clarke, he's just Sonya Deville, has, not because of
thank you. That's exactly where I was going to go with that.
not necessarily because of what she does in the ring and her talent, that part, not because of who her character is. But yeah, I think people were very confused here. It was kind of like, oh, yeah, they got beat down, but no, we don't like you guys. But yeah, I don't know.
And you know who probably
even. Well, go ahead. You want to go first?
You know who's probably laughing the hardest is Bayley.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely. No, I'm a big fan of Shayna Baszler. I mean, followed her from out here to where she's at now. Big fan from APW on through. But I'm a little conflicted, only because I want to cheer for him, but I also want to feel bad for Damage Control.
Yeah, I don't know where we're gonna go. It's very confusing. Why they attack Damage Control.
This is one of those. This is just one of those times you said, just let the carnage go happen and enjoy the show.
Yes.
There we go.
Backstage, Ray and Selena speak to Kathy about Vega in the champ. If it was okay, talked about if she would have won the championship, if it wasn't for Dawn, she could have used the chair. But what does that prove? The two are a hot mess, and they will be so even more when they are done. Ray says it's a pleasure to team with Vega. LWO Familia. Tonight, he will end the story and shut down and live up. They'll enjoy it. Somewhere in between there, we get a interview with Damage Control. Not Damage Control, with Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks, and Sonya Deville, where she talks to them briefly. And I have to say, yeah, that's not in these notes. But they talk backstage with these three. Shayna and Zoe give their message, but Sonya Deville is a great mouthpiece. In the ring, she's okay. I don't think she's as great in the ring to me. I know everybody has their own opinion, but I think she's a great mouthpiece. She knows how to talk. Where Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler kind of lack that talking piece, and Sonya Deville can definitely get them over as a mouthpiece. As you saw in this interview, Shayna Baszler did all right. Zoe Starks is a little better, but then when Sonya Deville got on that, you're really like, okay, I like where this is going. She punched it all home for him.
Well, look at Hulk Hogan. He got over on charisma more than his in-ring work. Yeah. Okay, brother? So, I mean, Sonya Deville, if she's at least serviceable in the ring, and we know she can do hella character work.
Yeah, no.
That's why I've always been happy with her.
No, I think she's a great character, and I think she's a great mouthpiece. I think she's going to help these two feel more of a threat. But it's going to be heel stable. I can already tell that. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever
clearly. That has to be.
I think Sonya Deville could be a female Miz in a way, where she's great on the mic, serviceable in the ring, but I don't. It's going to be hard and a long time before we can ever buy her as a babyface. You know, because it took Miz a long, long time before he could ever play.
You would have to be put in the right position, and it would take a lot of building.
It would. Well, with a lot of crap she's pulled, you're kind of like, yeah. But anyways, we have the main event. It's the mixed match, or the mixed tag match. Liv Morgan tying up with Dominic Mysterio against Rey Mysterio and Selena Vega. It was a serviceable match. Liv slides a chair in the ring to distract the ref, and then she knocks. Rey was trying to go up for a top rope Frankenstein or top rope Hurricane Rana. And she crotches Rey, falls on the rope. Rey falls, and then Dom hits a frog splash for the cover for 1, 2, 3. Liv and Dom are hugging in the ring. Dom tries to push her away, but then Liv falls down, and Dom's on top of her, and it looks like they're about to kiss when this is my brutality. Eat, sleep, bleed. Rains down to the arena. The crowd goes wild. Liv Morgan runs faster than I've ever seen Liv Morgan. She took off through that crowd like, oh, yeah. She's gone. She was gone. And then Liv slid into the ring and had a brief counter with Dom. Dom tried to make it right, tried to give her a hug. Rhea pushed him aside and then walked to the back. Dom followed her around like the lost puppy going, but mommy, I'm sorry. Great stuff. As far as I understand, Liv Morgan is not cleared for in-ring action. She didn't get she didn't take any bumps or get any physical action in this. So that may continue there. But I do know, from what I understand, she's not cleared for in-ring work yet, but they wanted to bring her back because they desperately needed her to help out, continue to build the storyline and the directions they're going, which I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it was a beautiful thing to see. They were doing great things. Excited to see what is to come next with all of this as the days of our lives continue. And Mommy is back. Will we see Eddie Jr. buying China 2 roses? We're gonna have to wait and see how this all works out. Gentlemen, your thoughts. I know Mr. Clarke's a big lover of the Days of Our Live episode. He loves this Liv Morgan.
You know I'm a happy boy.
Mr. Clarke, go ahead. You kick us off, man.
I think Big Time kind of said it all. I don't really know how to add to it. Besides the fact that, like I said, you know I'm a happy boy. I love the drama. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get a little more from Rhea. But then again, to tell the story of the back and forth that they're going to have to tell, maybe Dom trying to get her forgiveness or whatever. I mean, she couldn't just flat out deck him at this point.
No. I enjoyed Dom's face. He looked like he got caught with his pants down. Like, it was the way he sold it was beautiful. I laughed so hard. My wife came running into the room and she said, "What's so funny?" Because I was just laughing so hard. But we talk about stories getting recycled and reused. How long ago was it when Eddie and China did their thing, when Eddie got busted doing the same dirt that they have Dom doing? And he spent all that time asking for forgiveness. I love the callback.
And that's
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of that. So I mean, yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping for when we go into this new story. If they get away from Judgment Day, that we're going to get the Eddie, China, Mamacita, the love where Eddie's doing his little dirty things, and Mamacita's trying to be good, and, they keep having these little issues back and forth. I can't wait to see how that might play out. Anyway, gentlemen, that's your Monday Night Raw review.
Hell of a
Good,
show.
solid show.
Hell of a show.
I don't know if you guys are checking. Oh, I didn't send it. Let me drop this in the chat just for you guys' enjoyment. But Monday Night Raw, great show.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. Just look at the votes. I'm just. You gotta be kidding.
What? What's wrong with those?
Not your cup. Someone said it was boring. It was not someone's cup of tea. But it's okay.
Well, out of the 10 votes, 40% said awesome, 30% said good, 20% said average, and 10% said boring. And again, this is live. People are going to say things just to say things, just to stir up controversy, because controversy creates gas. So anything's possible. Anyways, moving along. Monday Night Raw, good solid show. What is your issue, sir? Do you need
Nothing.
You need a damn.
Yeah.
I just thought you guys might.
I gotta send that. I gotta forward that to somebody who might appreciate it a little bit more.
I just thought you guys might enjoy that little moment there, and
It was cool.
Yeah, no, great show. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I was on the road watching most of it, so it's just. I got the gist of it the whole way through.
Anyway, tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesdays mean the New Japan Rebound podcast will be up and posted. It is in. Congratulations. Good job, Mr. Z, getting everything you needed done so it was in. That'll be posted on the Patreon page. There is a link to the Patreon page in the link. The link is in the description of the the link's in the description below. So you can click on that, go to the Patreon page, join the Patreon page tomorrow. You'll be able to see the New Japan Rebound podcast right there on Patreon. And then Wednesday, it'll be live right here on YouTube. Of course, every day of the week, you get this date in wrestling history. We're going to be coming up on 300 here real soon, and then we're getting real close to the 365. What I will do after that, I don't know. I don't know how some of these people on YouTube do a video every day. Definitely a video in length where they go for 30, 40, 50 minutes every day, because even doing 1 minute and trying to squeeze in as much information as I could in 1 minute kind of gets tiring every day to have to get up and do it and put it together. But hey, we do it and we make it happen.
We need you on. What you should do on 365? Just go a few days without shaving and just start looking like Sami Zayn when he was looking homeless, and just show the frustration of this.
Okay. Anyways, we'll be back Friday night with your SmackDown post-show review. We'll go over everything on SmackDown. Other than that, you got a lot of news articles and information that are coming out throughout the week on Patreon, so you can hear about all the big news that's breaking going on. There's a lot of stuff that is being thrown out there. Of course, a lot of hate on Sami Zayn out there for some weird reason. If that's your cup of tea, I guess, go for it. A lot of people are trying to proclaim Ethan Page wouldn't be anybody if it wasn't for AEW. That WWE is just riding the coattails of AEW by making Ethan Page a champion.
Something they never did. So how is WWE riding their coattails again?
These are just news articles.
Wasn't Ethan Page in catering most of the time?
Of course, big news about Hulk Hogan being a racist. He's selling a beer he made, and then he found out the girl that was the spokesman for it was a black girl, and so supposedly he fired her because she was black. But there doesn't seem to be any truth from this rumor. It's a one-sided story. We haven't heard the other side. So there's a lot of other things out there.
It's not the first time they said Hogan was racist either.
Come on, first time Hogan made a comment and he got caught on videotape. So I mean, Of course, if you really want some good news,
never mind.
If you want some good news, you can go onto the Value Wrestling Patreon page. And you've got plenty of notes there from WWE's trademark moves to CM Punk addressing AJ Lee, John Cena's retirement announcement, to Bruce Pitcher discussing ECW failure and CM Punk's unique journey. And of course, you can always find Jane AI Bot on the Patreon page where she goes 100%. Be careful getting into that rabbit hole.
So you got to wonder if Jane's just as bad as some of the AEW tribalists, but hey.
Yes.
Oh no, it's meant for them. They should enjoy it. They'll
Go
love
hard,
it.
but don't
It's
go 100%.
beautiful.
That's what we always say.
There we go.
So yeah, and then it is official. It will be Saturday, July 13th. Me and Mr. Z are going to be live at Stockton Con in person. We're going to be doing that stuff. We're going to be meeting Sting, Kevin Nash, The Godfather, and yes, Matt Cardona, Indie God. We're coming to talk to you because we need you to chop this man. And I'm going to put it on Twitter until we get there. And then when we confront you, it'll be more fun. We'll get to see our boy, AJ Kirsch. Hopefully we'll get some time to talk to him briefly. We're going to do some reporting of other stuff there. We're going to make it a fun day. We're going to be there most of the day. We're going to have stickers to give away. So if you see us there, you're going to be there. Find us, and we'll hook you up. So all that stuff. It's going to be a busy, long week. At least no pay-per-views this week. We got some time down before we run into any pay-per-views. But we're building to... I guess we'll build the Blood and Guts a week out, and then SummerSlam, we're already starting to build the SummerSlam. So, lots and lots of fun. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, gentlemen?
I think we're good till the next episode.
We'll see.
Or the next article, in my case.
The next episode.
Technically, I'll see everyone tomorrow.
Sort of. Anyways, gentlemen, tell them good night. Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.
Don't do that. Get out of there.